Welcome to electronics video classes. In this video, I will give overview of first unit. Up to now, I have completed the topics belongs to unit number 1 of your 6th semester paper, that is 8051 microcontroller and interfacing. In the last video, I explained what are the evaluations of 8051 microcontroller based on bits. Those are 4-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit and 32-bit. Also discussed, so what are the examples of those bits used microcontrollers. Nowadays, the mainly used microcontrollers are ARM based microcontrollers. Those all are the 32-bit microcontrollers. Now, we will focus on overview of first unit, and again I will discuss so what are the topics are there in our first unit. That means totally, so these all are the first unit completely belongs to overview of or introduction of 8051 microcontroller. So first of all, I will give some of the disadvantages of microprocessors. Here the microprocessor have some disadvantages. That's why we move to microcontrollers. Actually, the microcontrollers and microprocessors, those all are a single chip ICs, but the difference is the cost effective in microprocessors, very less cost the microcontrollers, and also these microcontrollers are a general purpose microprocessors, and microcontrollers are a special purpose microprocessors. Okay, so now we will see some disadvantages of microprocessors. The overall system cost is high, and next disadvantage is the large sized PCB is required for assembling all the components. Already you see our microprocessor kits in our laboratory. So those kit is very big. So that's mean all the components we have to inserting, it is very complex. That means the size of a PCB is very less. Why? Because for example, we have to insert some components, that means memory components, RAM, ROM, all those components are connected externally to this microcontroller. So that's why the size of a PCB is increases. PCB means printed circuit board. So that means whatever the board is there, our green color board is there, so that is called a PCB. And next, coming to the overall product design require more time. So therefore, more number of components or more number of ICs are required to build a microprocessor PCB. So that's why overall product design requirements is also take more time. Next, coming to the special size of the product is big. That means the size of a product is also big. So next, coming to the discrete components are used, the system is not reliable. Okay, so another disadvantage is how to use the discrete components. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. So these disadvantages are overcome by using the microcontrollers. Okay, so now we will move to a next That is advantages of microcontroller based systems. So here, by using of these microcontrollers, nowadays our electronics gadget is not there, including our cell phones also there is a microcontroller chip. What is meant by microcontroller? The microcontroller which will perform the controlling operations. That means that system controlling is under this controller. That means, for example, if we consider a washing machine, so it will perform the automatic operations. So those automatic operations controlling is under the control of microcontroller IC. So that's why it is more advantageous. Our technology is very much improved and very much increasing technology. Okay, so we will discuss the advantages. As the peripherals are integrated into a single chip, the overall cost is very less. Okay, so here all the components peripherals are inserted in a single chip, so therefore overall cost of the system is very less. Next, coming to the product of small size compared to microprocessors based systems. Next advantage is the system design now require very little efforts when compared to microprocessors. As the peripherals are integrated with the microprocessors, the system is more reliable. And next, coming to through microcontroller may have an on-chip RAM, ROM and IO ports, and additional ROM RAM ports may be interfaced externally if required. So this is the more advantage than compared to microprocessors. And next, coming to the on-chip ROM provides software security. Okay, so here what are the on-chip ROM is there? The on-chip ROM will provide the software technology. So these are the advantages of microcontrollers. Next, coming to the comparison of the 8051 family members. These topics already heard in the our video number 1, but again I will tell you. So why? Because these are very much important for your technical exam point of view also. So that's why I am again discussing these 2 points. Okay, so the RAM based microcontrollers, those are 8031 ROM, next 80XX mask ROM, next 87XX EPROM and 89XX flash ROM. So here these are the ROM type 8051 family. Next, coming to the 89XX, in these also there is a so much of so much of ICs are there. So these all ICs are 8951, 8952, 8953, 8955. So these all are the belongs to 89XX. And again, so another examples are, so here 8089C51 means these two all belongs to the Atmel company. So these two are the Atmel company. So that means manufacturer. So here some of the abbreviations is also given here. AT means here the Atmel. That means company. So who are the manufacturers are there? So that is Atmel. And next, coming to the CMOS. CMOS, I'm already told the microprocessor is based on the technology that is the NMOS technology, but the microcontrollers are based on the CMOS technology. Okay, and next LV means here the low power. Okay, so these are the families we are used in our 8051 microcontroller. So here 8051 has ROM size of 4 kilobytes, RAM size is 128 kilobytes. It has a 2 timers. And 8031 there is no ROM here. Here this is a 8031. 8031 there is no ROM here. It has a RAM. Its its memory is 128 and two timers are there. And next one is 8751. It has 4 kilobytes of EPROM and 128 bytes of RAM and two timers are used. 8052, it has 8 kilobytes of RAM and 256 kilobytes of RAM and three timers are there. And also 8032, here the 8032 256 RAM is there and it has only three timers. 8752, 8 kilobytes of RAM and 256 bytes of RAM and three timers. So likewise we have to compare all these 8051 microcontroller family. But in your syllabus we are discussed about only this, that is 8051 microcontroller. So here ROM size is 4 kilobytes and RAM size is 128 kilobytes and it has a two timers. So it is a very much important for your exam point of view or your competitive exam point of view. Okay, so now we will move to next one. So here the basic components. So here this is a 8051 IC. So here 8051 IC, it is 8051 IC. Okay, so it has, I'm already told how much of data, internal data. So internal data of RAM is 1 kilobytes of internal RAM ROM and next 128 bytes of internal RAM and 4 8-bit IO ports. The 8051 microcontroller is also an 8-bit processor. So 8-bit processor means it can perform a byte of instructions at a time. So here the byte of instructions means an 8-bit operation at a time. So that's why it is an 8-bit uh, microcontroller. And next it has a two 16-bit timers and counters. It has a two 16-bit timers and counters. And another one is one serial interface is there in this IC. And next coming to 64 kilobytes of external memory for code. So whatever the code we have to write, so that code has a memory of 64 kilobytes of external memory for code. And next one is 64 kilobytes of memory for data. It has a memory data is also very high, that is 64 kilobytes of memory. And another one is 210 bits of addressable memory. And next coming to the what are the basic core of 8051 microcontroller. So it is a 8-bit CPU optimized for control applications. 8051 is a 8-bit CPU, that means the processor can perform 8 bits at a time. So that's why it is an 8-bit CPU. Next one, the capability for single bit boolean operations. It is also capable to perform a single bit boolean operations. And next coming to the supports up to 4 kilobytes of program memory. It has a program memory, that is a 4 kilobytes of a program memory. And also it has a data memory. The data memory is also 64 kilobytes of a data memory. And next come to 4 kilobytes of on-chip program memory. So here these are two types of program memories are there. That means the 8051 microcontroller has a program memory as well as a data memory. Here in the program memory it will support up to 64 kilobytes of program memory and 4 kilobytes of on-chip program memory. A new device provides more. And next coming to 128 or 256 bytes of on-chip data RAM. So it has a 4 8-bit ports are there. Okay, and also it has two 16-bit timers or counters. What are the timers are there? So those timers are a 16-bit timers and counters. It has a UART. UART means universal asynchronous receive and transmitter. So UART is also available in the 8051 IC. It has some of the interrupts is also available. And here on-chip clock oscillator is used. The on-chip clock oscillator is same as the our microprocessor. Our microprocessor, it has a crystal oscillator. We are connecting the pin number 1 and 2. In between these two, crystal oscillator is connected. So likewise, here 8051 microcontroller also used an on-chip clock oscillator, that is a crystal oscillator. Now, what are the manufacturers are there? Who are the manufacturers are there to developing of 8051 microcontroller? So here some of the manufacturers are Intel can develop the 8051 microcontroller, and Atmel is also developed the 8051 microcontroller. Philips also developed the 8051 microcontroller, and Dallas also developed some of the microcontrollers, Motorola and National, Infineon. So these all are the some of the companies to develop these ICs by the manufacturer. So in those Intel company is very popular to develop the 8051 microcontroller. So why? Because the Intel can use the instructions, means it will use the RISC based instructions are used. So RISC means reduced instruction set computer instructions are used. Okay, so here these are the some of the development tools required for the microcontroller programming are explained below. So here these are the tools used for the to write the program. The first one is the editor. An editor is a program which allows us to create a file containing the assembly language statements for the program. Examples of some editors are PC Write Word Star. As we take the program, the editor stores the ASCII code for the letters and numbers in successive RAM locations. If any typing mistake is done in the editor will alert us to correct it. If we leave out a program statement, an editor will let you move everything down and insert a line. After typing all the program, you have to save the program. This we call it as a source file. Here the editor means it will create a source file. Whenever we are writing a program, it has any mistakes are there, that means there is a typing mistakes are there, the editor will correct it and it will insert those mistakes. So that's why this file is called as a source file, and it is also the source file is stored as a file name, as the source file is file name dot ASM. Okay, so here the file is stored as file name.asm. That means by file is some file name. So whatever it may be the file name, you have to give f1 or f2, f3, whatever it may be. So f1.asm, it is called as a source file. Okay, next one, some editor. After we will discuss the an assembler. Assembler means it will translate the mnemonics into machine level language. We already about the machine level language and assembly language. So assembly language means whatever the language we have to use. For example, in microprocessor we use um, in microprocessor we use only we use we use the programs like move some a comma b. So here this is an assembly language. So here assembler which convert this assembly language into a machine level language. This assembly language is also called as a mnemonics. This assembly level is also called as a mnemonics. So here machine level language means binary code. That means hexadecimal code we need it. After that, when you run the assembler, it reads the source file of your program from where you have to save it. The assembler generates a file with the extension .hex. That means after assembling, that means it will translates assembly level language to machine level language. The file name is file name .hex. Likewise, it will be stored the our actual program. That means it will ready to execute the program. Okay, so if this file exists of hexadecimal values encoding a sequence of data and their starting offset or absolute address. Okay, so after assembler we will move to compiler. So here compiler. So what is meant by a compiler? Compiler is a program which converts high level language program like C into binary or machine code. Using high level language, it is easy to manage complex data structure such are often required for data manipulation. Because of its case flexibility and debug options, nowadays the compiler have become very popular in the market. The compiler like Keil, RIDE, IAAR, Workbench are very popular. So here the compiler is also a program which converts high level program into C. That means high level of program like C or C++ into binary or machine code. Okay, so here using high level language, it is easy to manage a complex data structures which are often required for data manipulation. Because of its case, the flexibility and debug options, nowadays a compiler have become very popular in the market. Compilers like Keil or many compilers, IAR, these all are the compilers. So means compiler means when you are executing a C language in our computer, we are using as a DOS as a compiler. So likewise, whenever we are writing of a program and this program is executed in the microcontroller, we are using some of the softwares. Those all are the Keil softwares. Okay, and next the development is completely depending upon the IDE environment. That means IDE means integrated development environment. Okay, next coming to the debugger or a simulator. A debugger is a program which allows execute the program and troubleshoot. That means here debugger is also a program and will execute the program and troubleshoot the program. Means troubleshoot means debugging. Debugging means it will correct the errors. The debugger allows us to contents of registers and memory locations after the program runs. We can also change the contents of registers and memory locations and rerun the program. So here if case any errors are there, the debugger can identify and also modify that errors. Some debuggers allow to stop the program after each instruction so that you can check or alter memory and register contents. This is called a single step debug. A debugger also allows to set a breakpoint at any point in the program. If we insert a breakpoint, the debugger will run the program up to instructions where the breakpoint is put and then stop the execution. So here breakpoint is very important. The breakpoint is very much important to debugging of any program. The debugger will run the program up to instruction where the breakpoint is put and then stop the execution. Okay, so here these are the very much important. Okay, so and also next one is a simulator. A simulator is a software program. This is a final stage of to execute any program in the microcontrollers, which virtually execute the instructions similar to a microcontroller and source the results. Here that means here the software program which virtually execute the instructions similar to a microcontroller and shows the results. That means it will show the results. This will help in evaluating the results without committing any errors. By doing so, we can detect the possible logic errors. Okay, so like way these are the some of the developing tools we have used for this microcontrollers. These developing tools are very important. For your exam point of view, they ask a question, explain about the developing tools. We have to write these all developing tools. Okay, so up to now I explained so our first unit syllabus. So what is meant by microcontroller, what are the differences between microcontroller and microprocessor, and what are the developing tools are used in our microcontrollers. Okay, so this is up to now I have completed the unit number 1 syllabus of 6th semester microcontroller and interfacing. Thank you.